The nature of Fast Talk, we're a once-a-week serving of a show, so we don't do a lot of hard news, but there was some pretty major news generated over the last week that needs to be reviewed, and it was announced by Speedway Motorsports and NASCAR that the All-Star Race will return to North Wilkesboro Speedway next year after a lot of hoopla this past season. Jeff Hammond, I know you're thrilled about that. You were very instrumental in North Wilkesboro coming back. You worked a lot with the folks in Wilkes County to get it cranked up this last time.
Well, I think everybody up there, I was up there Saturday night for the Wheeling Modified race, and the energy is still there, Doug, and the crowd was solid, and the racing was unbelievable. We had almost a little bit Talladega-ish, because on the final lap, as they were coming to the checkered flag, I mean, they were wrecking on the front straightaway and on top of each other. So it's like, oh, me, is this a precursor of what we're going to see tomorrow at Talladega?
The modified show there is good.
It really
Usually
was.
The modifieds are pretty
Matt Hirschman has gotten 2 wins up there. He did one with the Smart Tour back a couple years ago, and then came back up there on Saturday night and put it on him. He wound up outrunning Ron Silk along with Justin Bonsinori, who happened to be, battling for the Wheeling Championship at the moment.
And so, Brad Gillie, you and I did PA up there for the All-Star Race. We were there for 3 or 4 days, and a lot of people squawking about, don't repave the track. If you looked at the track, if it was an airport runway, you wouldn't want to land a plane on it.
No. And if you're Kyle Larson, maybe you vote to not repave the track. If you're everybody else, yes, it needs it. Look, they have done everything they can to take this same asphalt that's been on that racetrack for, I'm going to say, well over a quarter of a century. It might be pushing half a century. And I thought they did a great job of salvaging it to at least run on it for one more year. But it's time, and it's time to give this track its due and do something that's really going to produce some great racing on the racetrack. And I'm glad we get to go back for the All-Star Race, see a great fresh coat of asphalt. I love everything that they've done so far with North Wilkesboro, from opening it 2 years ago and the late model race with half of the crowd wearing green sundrop shirts to what we saw last year with the All-Star Race. Definitely a highlight of the year for sure, to what we're going to get next year with the All-Star Race. I think this is just phenomenal. And honestly, Doug, that was such a fun race weekend. The energy that was within the building, and I'll say the building, I realize it's an outdoor stadium, but still the energy that existed there in North Wilkesboro for this year's All-Star Race, man, I just hope we can continue to replicate it for many years to come.
But I'm going to drop something on my co-host, Alexis Erickson here. By the time the All-Star Race comes back around, your young son, Ollie, will be close to 3, right?
I know. Oh, my gosh.
Would this not be the race to, break him in on? It's like a 15-minute drive from your house. You could be at North Wilkesboro, get him some cute little, sound reduction headphones.
Oh, he's already got those for when he mows with Daddy.
Of course he does.
Microphone.
And a microphone. Yeah, sure. We'll have our first kids reporter. He's talking up a storm now. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, what Speedway Motorsports did with North Wilkesboro and has done to bring that. I mean, the best analogy I could think of is just to give it a makeover. And they have brought it, from the brink of just basically collapsing in areas to a facility that put on such a great event this past May. And they're going to do that again. And the last piece of that puzzle, I agree, is paving that racetrack. And I, for one, can't wait to see what happens next May after it's done.
And they've learned a lot about paving racetracks. The polymers and things they use, Jeff, are not what they were paving racetracks with 30 years ago.
No, it's not. But at the same time, Doug, they'll make it better. But most importantly, they're not going to change anything. Steve Swift and his group have been so meticulous about making sure that they scan this track accurately so they can put it back down the way it is right now. As far as the transition angles into one, running uphill, downhill, they're not trying to change this racetrack. They're just going to give it a makeover. And it should be, fast and furious. They really expect the speeds will probably be up, anywhere from 2 to about 4 miles an hour and every series that runs there. But I would like to say one thing that I want to make sure everybody understands. I had the privilege of speaking with Bill Blair. Bill Blair is a legend in Wilkes County as well as in the beginning of NASCAR. He raced at North Wilkesboro when it was dirt, and he was there Saturday night. He was all thumbs up and smiling from ear to ear, thinking that, I was here in the beginning, and I can't believe what I'm seeing here.
All right, so you're saying that Bill Blair is old as dirt.
I thought the same.
Well, you know what, gentlemen? He is. And the thing is about it, he is as smart as he was, I think, back then, because, again, he's sharp as a tack, and he has the right to say that I'm older than dirt and damn proud of it.